Good morning and welcome to Football Spy with me, Dan Silver, on Tuesday, July the 21st. Now, John Terry's on-off move to Manchester City is a summer transfer saga that just won't die. Despite protestations to the contrary from the Chelsea camp, Manchester City remain convinced they can tempt the England skipper to Eastland. And now it seems the Blues are desperate to settle this once and for all, as Roman Abramovich is packing his gold-plated toothbrush and jetting out to the States for showdown talks with Terry on the team's pre-season tour. The Mirror's own John Cross has the arduous assignment of covering Chelsea's jaunt. You really picked the short straw there, Crossy. And he's told us that boss Carlo Ancelotti has declared that Terry's future will be resolved in the next 7 days, and that future is blue. Late last night, Ancelotti told the press, "I think that in 1 week, nobody will have a problem about John Terry. John wants to stay in Chelsea, and Chelsea want John Terry to be captain for more years." Although Ancelotti then undermined his argument somewhat by adding, "Loyalty is very important because Terry, like Ashley Cole, Lampard and Drogba, is a very important player." Not sure those are three names you want to be bandying about when talking about loyalty, Carlo. Now, you can keep up to date with all the latest news from Chelsea's pre-season tour, including live commentary from their game against Inter Milan tomorrow morning, by following John Cross's Twitter feed at John Cross Mirror. Another manager having fun in the sun is Manchester United's Sir Alex Ferguson. His press conference in Kuala Lumpur yesterday was a classic. In the space of 10 minutes, Fergie managed to slag off Carlos Tevez as an overpriced mercenary, sow seeds of doubt about Michael Owen's ability to play more than one game in a 10-day period, and claim that Cristiano Ronaldo will one day rejoin Manchester United. Today's Sun has an interesting line about Mame Biram Diouf, the young Senegalese striker United have agreed to sign for Norwegian club Molde next January for £2 million. According to the Norwegian club's director, a man whose name I definitely won't try to pronounce, when the deal was first brokered, Diouf thought it was a joke. So now he knows how Carlos Tevez feels. Most surprising story of the day comes from the Daily Mirror's own Football Spy column, where transfer king Alan Nixon reveals that Aston Villa's Nigel Reo-Coker could soon be doing his way to the Championship. Yes, Middlesbrough are lining up an audacious bid for the man who not so long ago was being touted as a future England star. Although admittedly that was before he started believing his own press while at West Ham and cupping his ear to those fans who had the temerity to criticise his lacklustre performances. Before you dismiss this story out of hand as mere paper talk though, consider this. Villa boss Martin O'Neill is known to be after Borough striker Sunil Tunchai and could well be tempted to sacrifice Reo-Coker in order to sweeten that deal. Watch this space. Now, lots of you are still commenting on the blog about whether Zlatan Ibrahimovic is any good in the wake of his proposed move to Barcelona. Personally, I'm with Darren Lewis on this one, his pony. But one interesting knock-on effect of that deal is that, according to today's Express, Inter boss Jose Mourinho will use some of the £40 million he'll get for the Swede to finally make a move for long-standing target Jermaine Jenas. Harry Redknapp would be unlikely to stand in the way of such a deal, and the move could pave the way for Spurs to cement their own interest in American public enemy number one David Beckham. One player who doesn't look like he's coming to the lane is Dutch goal machine Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. Real Madrid sporting director Jorge Valdano revealed last night that an £18 million deal for the 25-year-old has already been agreed with German side Stuttgart. And now for today's quick hits. Portsmouth are trying to tie up a cut-price deal for ex-Liverpool fullback Steve Finnan as a replacement for Glenn Johnson, the fullback who joined Liverpool last month in a deal that was as far from being cut-price as you could possibly hope to find. Fulham would tie up the signing of Norwegian midfielder Bjorn Helge Riise today. Yes, he is the brother of former Liverpool star John Arne Riise, but no, sadly, he didn't inherit the carrot-top gene from his parents. Bobby Zamora could still be on his way out of Craven Cottage, providing Hull can meet his wage demands, reported to be around a staggering 40 grand per week. Bobby, have a word with yourself, mate. George Graham has criticised Arsene Wenger for not doing enough for trying to keep Emmanuel Adebayor at Arsenal. Now, I think most Gunners fans would have been happy if Arsene had driven him up to Eastlands himself. Possible replacement Marouane Chamakh has now claimed Arsenal are out of the race to sign him, but Arsene Wenger appears to be playing his usual cagey game, so keep an eye on that one. One young striker now not going to the Emirates is Chelsea starlet Frank Noble. The 17-year-old is favouring a move to West Ham instead. The deal is being hailed as a coup for the Hammers, but I think most fans would rather see signings that will enrich the first team now rather than in 4 years' time. Still, if it all goes wrong at Upton Park next season, at least I'll have a great youth team to go and watch instead. Finally, whispers reached the Football Spy office last night that Sven-Göran Eriksson could be set for a sensational return to management. And which superstar club was reportedly in for the former England, Lazio, Benfica, Roma and Manchester City manager? Why only the mighty Notts County? Just when you thought life couldn't get any worse, eh, Magpies fans? Well, that's it from me today. Darren Lewis will be back in his chair tomorrow, and as ever, you can keep up with all today's transfer news and gossip throughout the day at mirror.co.uk/spy.